Hey, Tea Time Familia! Welcome to Tea Time with Marie, a virtual home for those who are looking to be encouraged and empowered through healing and spiritual growth, where true conversations without judgment and closed mindedness take place. Now, let's get started. Hello, my beautiful Tea Time Familia. Welcome back to Tea Time with Marie. And if it's your first time here with me, joining me on either the podcast worlds on Spotify or the podcast world on YouTube. Welcome. I am very, very happy to have you here, and hopefully you stick around and come back to watch some more. So today, you guys know me. I'm gonna get right into it. I've been feeling pretty exhausted today, but okay, I'm here to give you guys some tea, some good tea, some stuff that I've been taking on, throughout these weeks, these past few weeks, and just learning and reading. I mean, I just finished reading a book, Me by Big Fat Mouth by Joyce Meyer. And then now I'm reading Spiritual Warfare for Women. Then I'm also reading Healing the Soul of Women. So I'm just like in my books right now and just trying to educate and learn more and more of, different ways to better myself, different ways to process things, different tools that I can use. I do have a book club now that I have started with some amazing, lovely ladies, and we're reading the book Healing the Soul of Women. Something that I never ever thought I would be doing is a book club. Like, I wasn't a reader. English was not my favorite subject. Like, I'm a math girl. Give me the math, give me the numbers. But the reading and the English and all that writing stuff, it's ironic because now that's what I do. In the mornings I read and I journal. And that is like my whole new life. It turned all over. So today I want to talk about rejoicing over the seed, right? Rejoicing over the small things, right? I want to talk about that because it's important to rejoice for the small improvements, especially when we're like when we're waiting for the big things to happen, when we're waiting for the next big step, when we're waiting for our results, for our fruit, right? We do need to remember what we are doing and that it's okay to rejoice on the little things, on the small things, right? Because that small seed is going to turn into something beautiful, into something greater, a beautiful flower, a beautiful tree, right? That's going to bear fruit, that's going to help others. Whatever, that thing that you're working on, you know what it is. You know it better than me. You placed it on there. But it's important to rejoice through the whole process. We have to find the happiness in everything. We have to find the joy. And just to say it to you, I'm here to, to give you motivation and to push you forward, but I can't give you the happiness. Like, you have to do that for yourself. The joy is in us already, right? God provided the joy for us, but we have to put it into work and choose to be joyful and choose to be grateful. And that's something that I've been working on. You guys know, whatever I bring to you guys, I'm working on it. I'm preaching to the choir here, even if it's just me, right? Listening, I'm preaching to myself and I'm taking this in because it is very important to rejoice over the seed, right? It is a sign of greater things to come, right? You can either curse your seed, right, by complaining over it, or you can rejoice and know that, great things are coming, that things are going to come out of this little seed, out of this, process that you're in, out of this work that you've been putting into, right? Though it may be small, though it's taken forever, right? Though it's not, the big strong tree, right? Let's say I'm using my metaphors here that, you want it to be and that you expect it to be and that it will be, right? Because a huge tree started with a seed, right? A beautiful flower started with the seed. Like, everything needs to be planted. Even our fruits and vegetables, like, they started with the seed and then, right, they grew up and they went through the process. They went through the process of the rain and the storms and the, being buried down low. And it seems like you are in the darkness, but in reality, you're just being planted, right? So I've been learning and I've been trying to take this in because I'm not perfect. So here I am with you guys, that we really truly need to rejoice over the little things, right? We rejoice over a baby, right? When we find out moms, when we find out we're first pregnant, we're so excited and we rejoice. And the baby is just a little seed inside of our tummy, right? Like, especially if you find out really early, it's pretty much just a little seed, just a little something that will grow into something beautiful, that that you will have in your hands soon, that that you will watch grow, that that you will nourish with your love, right? And all this started with a small seed, right? And we rejoice over that. We rejoice over, the good news, the things that will become, the things that are going to prosper out of that, out of that little seed, right? So why can we not rejoice over the little things, the little progresses, right? That may be happening in your life right now, right? Like even if you just started working out, even if you just started by writing the business plan, right? Like you're not even in deep yet, but you have that vision, you have that seed, right? That is going to turn into something beautiful. It is important to rejoice over it. It is super super important to rejoice over it. And I do have a Bible verse that I took in when I was like studying about rejoicing over the seed, about the little things, and I love this. And it's talking about, it's in Matthew 13:31-43, and it's Jesus speaking, right? In parables, as we are, as a lot of us know, right? If you don't know, Jesus loves to speak in parables. And he said, "The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and planted in his field. Though it is the smallest of all seeds, yet when it grows, it is the largest of the garden plants and becomes a tree, so that the birds come and perch in its branches," right? So even though it is the smallest of the seed, it's still being glorified as to what it's going to be. It's going to be a tree that's going to bear fruit. It's going to be a tree that is going, to give a home to the birds and food to the others, right? Even in the small things, right? We are allowed to rejoice. And I've been taking that in a lot because life can be hard. And the process, nobody, like, I mean personally, I don't mind the work. I feel like the waiting game is hard for me. I'd rather be doing something. But there comes a time in our lives where we all have to wait, right? We've planted our seed. We've given it love and nutrients and watered the area, the soil, right? And then we come to this waiting time, right? And in that waiting time, I encourage you to rejoice for the work that you have done, to rejoice for what the seed is going to be. And that can definitely help lighten the load of waiting. And I know this because it is something that I want to take, when, I mean, you guys already know when I'm studying, when I'm doing this, it's for me. And then I'm sharing with you guys my process and how I've been overcoming, and how, you guys can take this into your own, right? Into your own situations, right? And apply it. And rejoicing over the little seed is a very important to do, because there will be times when we're not working and we're just waiting, and it feels super lonely, and sometimes if you feel a little defeated, right? Like, oh my goodness, I did everything that I could do. What else do I have to do? And sometimes the what else is just waiting for, for you to reap what you've sown, waiting for the progress, waiting for the next step, right? Waiting. We all have to do is a little bit of waiting. And I hear your girl Marie is not a very patient person. That is something that I did ask God to help me with, right? Because as a mom, I'm always on the go. And I'm always doing things here and left and right. And it's breakfast and routines and all that, and lunch and then dinner and then clean up the house. Like, I'm always on the go. I'm always doing things, and I expect things to be done at that moment. And when most of the things that I do, right, as a working mom, I do see, things happening instantly, right? I make my children food and then they eat it. Like, all that stuff is instant, because I feel like I'm always on the go. But when there's times like this, right, when I'm creating, a safe space for others to come and listen to Tea Time with Marie, right? When I'm working on a book club and all that, we might not see the fruits right away, right? We might not see like everything right then and there. We have a vision and we have the seed, and we planted the seed, right? Your girl's here. I'm on podcast, right? We planted the seed, but we may not see the results right away. And there's a waiting period, right? That waiting period is where a lot of people give up, right? And or thoughts of giving up. I've had thoughts of giving up. I've had thoughts of, what is the point, right? I've given it all. I've done it all. What is the point, right? And the waiting area and the waiting time, it kind of confuses you, and it tries to trick you to think that it's not going to happen. But we're just in our waiting area. And what we can do during that time is rejoice. Rejoice over the seed, right? Rejoice like a little baby. Like, find out you are pregnant with that goal, pregnant with that dream, right? And now you need to wait and process and wait for it to build out, wait for it to be created, wait for it, to put in your work and to see it come to pass, right? And it's great to finally rejoice when we have the tree and we're bearing fruit, and our goals and our dreams and everything is just coming to a reality, and you're losing all that weight, girl. And that's amazing, of course, because that's our goals. That's what we were working for. But during the time where it's nothing happening, right? When you are in that waiting game, it's important. And I encourage you, okay? Because I'm gonna take this for me, and you take this for you too. I'm encouraging you to rejoice. Rejoice over the small seed. You deserve it. You put in the work, right? You have a vision. You're planning it out. You're doing it, and now you just need to wait for that baby to grow, right? Wait for that baby to grow. Wait for that seed to grow into a beautiful tree, right? That is going to bear fruit, that is going to have branches and help your kids and their kids, right? Generational wealth, right? Things like that. Like, those are the things that we need to focus on when, we're planting these seeds, when we start our path to being a better you, right? Like, everything's not going to happen overnight, right? You might want to work on your attitude, but you feel like you had a couple times where you like flipped out and you're like, oh man, Lord. Yeah, that's happened to me. Working on my attitude, working on this, working on that, and then boom, a whole day just kind of like, a moment, sidetracked from my dreams, my goals, and for the person that I want to be, right? That happens. That's all part of the process. But I was able to go back and rejoice on how far I have come, right? How far I am from for who I was, because I'm definitely not the same person. I am by far perfect. That's just not who I am. I'm never gonna sit here and tell you I'm perfect and nothing happens to me and everything is just great and et cetera, et cetera. I'm here to tell you I love God and I'm being obedient and I'm gonna push through the end to see this where God wants me to take me on all areas of my life. That's what I can do. That's what I can promise. Everything else is me being human and me being part of the process. And God already knew this. God already knew this. I was telling my book club girls that one of my favorite things about God is that you cannot surprise him. Right? He already knows. When he gives us a dream, when he gives us a purpose, we want to give excuses, right? We want to be like, well, I can't do this and I can't do that. But God already knew that. God already knows exactly who you are and what you can and what you cannot do. But he's going to equip you with it. He's going to equip you with the tools, right? With the motivation, with the words, with the right people. It's all going to happen for you, right? So rejoice over that small seed. Rejoice over that small step that may seem small, right? But it's going to be a huge thing when it does come to pass, right? Titan Familia. That's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today because I'm living in this right now. I'm learning to rejoice about how far I've come and I'm learning to rejoice on how, things will turn out for me. I'm learning because it's hard as humans. We want to see, microwavable results, but we have, an oven God. He takes his time. He makes it perfect, right? But really, I mean, I'm not a fan of microwaving my food at all. Like I don't even have a microwave in my house. My kids always like yell at me and not yell at me, but they always making fun of me like, why don't we have a microwave? I'm like, go to your aunt's, use her microwave, right? Jokingly, or they'd be like, right here, mom, a great space for a microwave. I was like, no, right there is a great space for nothing. Because I personally don't like how the food tastes in microwave, right? And if you really think about it, it doesn't. So when we want these microwavable results, right, they might not be as worth it as if you see that it's taking your time, right? You see it preparing in the oven, you see it cooking up, and when it comes out, it's a masterpiece and it tastes delicious, right? That's the same for our little seeds that we are planting every single day, right? Our seeds that we are watering, our seeds that we are nurturing, right? Those seeds, right? That's something to rejoice in. That is something to celebrate. So I encourage you today, like me, right? Let's rejoice about the seed. Let's rejoice about the little things. About the little things. You guys got this, right? We got this, Titan Familia. One step at a time, one day at a time, but you will get through it. You will and you can. You will and you can. You can and you will. You can and you will. There we go. All right, Titan Familia. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Again, thank you guys for listening to me. I'll be out here pouring out to you guys. I get all the sweet messages telling me like, Marie, your tea time helped me with this, your tea time helped me with that. But when I'm doing my tea time, it's helping me too. I'm preaching to myself and I get like revelation of certain things and I'm like, oh man, that was definitely for me. That was God. That was for me, right? So I hope you have enjoyed today's tea time. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And I hope that you're celebrating all those little seeds in your life that soon, okay? With work and time and patience, right? We got to work on that too. It will come and it will come and blossom into something beautiful, something that you have put all your heart into. All right, Titan Familia, have a great day. Oh, and I was about to forget. And as I always say, don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. We're treating ourselves and we are rejoicing about the little things. Bye, guys.